A week after the insurrection, an anti-Trump group wrote the names of Republicans who voted to overturn the election results onto a banner.
Garcia from California. Gibbs from Ohio.
The plan was to pin it to the new fencing around the Capitol.
Where was all of this? Every single time we're protesting against y'all, against fascism, for some reason, here y'all come. But where were y'all last week with all the fascists, though? Where were y'all at? This is how y'all are at every Black Lives Matter protest. Where were y'all at last week?
Ariana Evans has been at every Black Lives Matter protest in D.C. since last May. She's used to facing heavy police presences.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are participating in a non-permitted event in a restricted area on Capitol Hill. Please refrain from this event, leave the area, or you will be subject to arrest.
So right now people are protesting behind me right in front of the Capitol building just a week after the attack. And what's interesting is there is a pretty heavy police presence. There are maybe 3 police officers per every protester that were here. The people started to try to hang signs on the fence outside the Capitol building, and the police presence actually pushed us into this intersection.
Evans was watching online as pro-Trumpists invaded the Capitol.
Going through all that last summer, what was your reaction to seeing what happened at the Capitol last week?
They were just so comfortable in their whiteness. They were so comfortable in their privilege. They knew that their skin was their bulletproof vest. So they showed their faces the entire time they were in there. We watched them basically push past the police. We watched some of them get escorted in and waved in by the police.
You were arrested last year. Can you talk about some of those instances that you had with law enforcement?
When I got arrested leaving a protest. I got arrested trying to go home. I was arrested by 5 police officers. They kneeled on my back. I'm 118 pounds at the time. And I had bruised ribs. I missed work. I had scrapes all up and down my legs. And I will never be the same after that instance or after any of the other instances that I had spent in jail.
Now the country is waiting to see what kind of legal consequences the insurrectionists are going to face. After growing calls for answers, the Department of Justice and the FBI finally briefed the public.
We have already opened more than 170 subject files, meaning these individuals have been identified as potential persons that committed crimes on the Capitol grounds, inside and outside. So of those 170 cases that have already been opened, and I anticipate that's going to grow to the hundreds in the next coming weeks, we've already charged over 70 cases.
But legal experts say the charges levied so far against those who stormed the Capitol are relatively minor.
This is appalling. I mean, you're seeing assault on federal police officers, which is a federal crime. It's a very serious federal crime. Under the laws of the District of Columbia, that could well be attempted murder.
Civil rights lawyer Jonathan Smith represents the Black Lives Matter D.C. chapter in a lawsuit against the federal government for how it dispersed protesters in Lafayette Park.
Can you talk about some of the charges that you saw Black Lives Matter protesters face last summer, and what were some of the most extreme examples?
Sure. Well, you saw across the country that the federal government got involved in prosecuting Black Lives Matter protesters under circumstances you would ordinarily expect. There was a very small fire on a coffee shop in Philadelphia, and they went after the leader of the demonstration and charged with a federal arson charge. You saw the policing of downtown Portland, Oregon, with federal agents, and the arrest of people for destruction of property charges would ordinarily be brought, and then serious felonies and federal crimes being brought. Here in the District of Columbia, when people tried to pull down a statue of a Confederate general, they didn't succeed, and you saw people charged with very serious felonies for those kinds of events. If we don't respond with great seriousness through our legal system to what happened on the Capitol, then I'm worried that this is just an encouragement to others to continue this behavior. One would expect in an incident like this that you would have charges like conspiracy, attempted murder, terroristic threat. It would be my hope that the United States Attorney here in the District of Columbia is looking at all those charges, and that when we have a grand jury convened and decisions are made, that we'll see indictments along those kinds of lines. But right now, one doesn't know. One just simply doesn't know.
For the FBI and the DOJ to come out now, a day late and a dollar short, and say that they're about to come and catch all of these violent criminals that have been plotting openly for weeks to violently storm the Capitol, take hostages, and kill people. So we're no longer having a conversation about justice. We are not talking about justice. I'm sorry. All those white people went home. Only one of those white people died by the hands of the police. They killed a police officer. If we did that, they would have called us terrorists immediately. Why can we not finally have a conversation about that? Because as a black woman, I am not safe in a country where the fucking Confederate flag can be waved in the goddamn Capitol and no one does anything about it. And all those people can walk free. And I've seen my comrades die. I'm tired. I'm so tired. And I'm scared as fuck all the time.